you do an info session, and then it's 3 rounds of interviews. And everybody is always positive. They always want to just help you grow personally and professionally, and they give you feedback and tell you what you can do, what you can change. It's taking all that feedback in and making the appropriate tweaks here and there, and it's awesome. It's been great. The whole process is amazing. It's stressful. I haven't slept in 2.5 months. My goodness. I've had just nervous. You know, you always want to be good enough to go to that next round. And for me, being an off-site cast member, I'm not always around, you know, the resort, and I'm not always on property. So I had to kind of go out of my way to, all right, what is this and what is this called? And all right, it's an attraction, and we can go here, and it's from this date to this date, and okay, make sure you got it all down. And flashcards.
Yeah, flashcards.
I mean, it was like an SAT, man.
It really was.
You think you'll sleep tonight?
I hope so.
I don't know.
It's gonna be more like
now it might
disbelief.
be hard still. Well, for me, I grew up in a very Disney movie family. I drew Disney characters all the time. I actually wrote a letter to Michael Eisner when he was president of the Walt Disney Company, and they wrote back, and I was just totally stoked to wanting to be a Disney animator. Eventually, I got my master's in film directing and changed to live action stuff, and I became a cast member here at the resort during my early years in graduate school. And I actually auditioned because I wanted to be a part of this magical place. And I auditioned and I got the job on the same day that later that day we had a tragedy in my family. And sometimes for about a year or two after that, sometimes the only reason I could get out of bed was knowing I was going to be able to come to the happiest place on earth. And so this place built me up from a very low place in my life, and it really in a lot of ways saved me in my journey to find that happiness again. I found it eventually, and I owe a lot of that to the Disneyland Resort. I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but it's absolutely true. And after that I said, I want to give back, and I want to be the ambassador, because that sounds like a great way to give back.
So what were your jobs?
Well, I'm part of entertainment. I've done various shows. I'm good buddies with the characters, and I am in guest talent programs. I'm a stage manager. I also am a teacher or a facilitator for the Youth Education Series. I teach the Leadership Pursuit of Excellence program.
I was wondering, because you said you were music programs.
Yeah, my bio is like guest talent programs / entertainment / youth education series. Because I do all 3 at once. I bounce around. My schedule every week is completely different.
What's the youth education series?
Youth education series, it's like field trips in the park. Students from outside, about 15 to 20 students will come, or 10 to 20, and I will literally walk them around the park and teach them about how to be a good leader using Walt Disney's leadership style. And then we'll write up a few attractions, and it's a really great experience for them, and I love doing it. It's a win-win.
One last thing is your Disney history.
My history is much shorter and much more concise. Mine started when I was looking for a job in the banking industry. You know, I was out of a job, and I happened to Google, you know, credit unions in the area, and sure enough, I saw one with Disney script on it. I walked in, and it was Partners Federal Credit Union. Lo and behold, I said, I could work for Disney's bank? This is awesome! So I went in, and I asked if I could apply to get a job. Sure enough, I applied, I got the job. 3 years later, here I am, and that's kind of where I am. It was very interesting. I started as a teller, and now I'm the head teller for the branch. That was
you
it.
were.
I was, yeah. As of about 57 minutes ago. So.
Well, for me, it's meeting all the different casts from all across the resort. I come from kind of 3 different departments right now that I get to work in, and I have a great deal of wonderful friends from there. And I can't wait to have more wonderful friends, because there are lots of places in the resort I don't get to interact with a lot of cast members as much. But now I get the chance, and I cannot wait to do that.
I definitely agree. Being off-site, I've never had the opportunity to really, put my hands in the soil that is the Disneyland Resort on site. So now that I do, it's going to be exciting and amazing. I can't wait for the next few weeks, and then meeting the other ambassadors from around the globe. And oh man, I still can't believe it. I had when I applied, I just wanted to pass the first round. I mean, that was my goal because I had applied before and I never made it past the first round. And a lot of it had to do with, you know, that knowledge of the disconnect. And I really want to bring that back together where I get to work off-site and let everybody know about the ambassador program, what we do here on the resort, and everything involved. So that was my goal, just make it past the first round. Sure enough, here I am today, and I still can't believe it.
Yeah, and I'm with him. I mean, I set the goal of, hey, it'd be great to be the ambassador. I'm going to aim for that, but at the same time, it was like, in order to achieve that goal, I had to have these sub-goals. Okay, make it past the first interview. Okay, make it past the second interview. Okay, don't blow the third one, you know, just anything we can to get to that goal. And for me, I just want to get everything out of it. I know there are so many things that we're going to learn that I don't even know we're going to learn yet. And so I just want to suck it all in, like be a sponge for this whole process. I'm sure it'll be exciting today.
It already is.
I know,
and it's been at least 8 minutes. I know, like, so yes, we're excited for everything. The most stressful for me, not so much the application process, but the interviews, was the one I had just yesterday with George Calligradis and, you know, his team of executives. Just because, I mean, you see these individuals in the newspaper and news and, you know, on different Disneyland Resort lines, and you just never, not all the cast members get the opportunity to really meet them. And finally, I'm sitting there, and I just open the door, and there's George and his team. They're like, "Hi!" I'm like, "Ah, what?" And I even had to tell them, I'm like, "I feel like I have your baseball card at home, and I'm meeting you for the first time. Can you please sign something for me?" So it's awesome. I mean, that was, for me, that was the most stressful yet the funnest of all three.
For the application process for me, I think for me, the first round was probably the most stressful. Because even though I've been in the park, I've been blessed to actually walk around the park more, so I had an advantage there, I still had to make like 180 digital flashcards, and I made myself a 350 question quiz based on all of the information I compiled from various articles, Disneyland lines, everything I could find, because I just needed to stand out, because they narrowed us down, I think, from 78 or 77 to 13 just at that first interview. And so I knew that my biggest hurdle would be to get past the person, really be noticed that way. And so for me, it was all about really trying to stand out and be myself, and it was really exciting to be able to do it. When I was a semifinalist, I was truly honored, and the honor is just honor upon honor upon honor, and now here we are. Like a Disneyland dictionary, but something tells me that you guys probably know that. I am willing to learn. I'm sponging here too. I don't know everything. I want to.
I did the D23 trivia scavenger hunt. I opened the book after studying for so many weeks. Do we even have this in the resort? What is this? And I mean, you'd be so surprised. D23, the community of fans were just like, they didn't even go in the park yet. They were just answering questions. This is too easy. They just kept going on.
What did you guys rank? Do you remember?
350.
Nice!
So,
good job! I would have been probably below that.
I think our team number was like 50223 or 50023. It had a 23 in it, so I was totally stoked. But we didn't do as great. I mean, I applaud you Disney fans out there. Really, my goodness.
You're a sponge. We want to learn.
Yes. Yeah.